So my wife and I went to a conference back in 2018, and it was called Movement Day, and it was in Charlotte. And it basically just was trying to gather Christians together, particularly get Christians from the nonprofit sector, the business sector, and vocational ministry to come together and ask, how can we transform the city for good? 2 years after that, my wife and I felt the tug on our heart to pursue foster care. And so since moving to Johnson City a few years ago, I've asked, what would it look like to have a similar event here that could bring Christians together, that could encourage us to do good in the community, meet concrete needs around the ideas of awareness, affection, and then action.
Will Barber and I went to seminary together and ended up in Johnson City together, and just hearing his heart about Movement Day and what that did for him and his wife, Haley, wanting to get involved in just a small way, in any way possible, to get myself and my sphere of influence plugged into that. First step for me was just getting informed, and this has been big. Love your neighbor conversation has been really big for me personally, and hopefully for everyone else.
Our goal for the Love Your Neighbor conversation is that this is an actual conversation that we have with all of our neighbors about how do we serve our community better, to raise awareness, to affect us in some way, and then to move us to action.
We keep pouring into our neighborhood, into our community, bringing awareness of how the trauma affects us all, even though we may react to it differently, and even going back to our childhood. Some of it is not like the most prettiest conversation, but those ugly truths need to be talked about, and then that's how we start that healing journey.
The importance of loving on your neighbors, and what does that really mean? Is it giving a blanket to somebody? Is it doing a little more? Is it sacrificing time? Is it sacrificing resources? Hopefully churches get involved and step out a little more and do a little more as far as just meet people where they're at.
Folks just don't go home with information, that we are really thinking about ways that we can do something about the things that we learned today, and find some really helpful ways that are kind of low bar and easy ways and avenues for us to be able to find an on-ramp to actually do something and to start having some of these conversations with other folks around us.
Keep having open dialogue and communication. So just to continue to have events and these platforms for others to come and speak about it, what their needs are, what kind of help they can provide, and getting that word out.
A lot of times you get a small group of people doing a lot of stuff. If we can get more people here, get more people at the table, more conversations going, I think it'll open it up for us to be able to help more people and offer more resources.
So whether it's a table of 5 people or whether it's a room full of 100 people, I think for us, we just want to get the conversation going. The desire isn't for it to blow up and be this big thing, but for it to be a conversation that continues beyond these walls into our church communities, into our families, into those who we work with, those we play with, those we interact with each and every day, just to see what it looks like to bring about change in our city.
We're hoping to have more of these love your neighbor conversations in the future, not just talk about kind of the event, but also how God has been at work, how we can continue to join in what he might be calling each of us to do. I know that, God has been at work in Johnson City, and that he's doing great things, and I know we can continue to improve and grow.